Good morning, everyone. It's a happy day in the Rose household today. Today we have a box that came in from, let me see, what do we got here? It came in from River Guide Supply, LLC. It's from Oregon City, Oregon. And what we ordered here, this is cool. I hope it looks nice and everything, and everything's in great shape. But I had picked up a spinner jig that I had mentioned in another video, a Twistech. All right, get rid of the box. So this is what I picked up. Is she a beauty? It's a, I can make lures of my own spinners for fishing in the creeks. So I'm gonna take a look at it and get it out. Whoa. Yeah, this thing's pretty cool. It's for twisting up my spinners. Let's see. Get all this little rubber stuff off there. I'm gonna have to practice with this too. I'm just kind of showing you right now the basic unboxing and what it looks like. But I'm gonna have to practice with this, you know, so it's gonna take a little bit. So you're probably not gonna see me do anything with it like immediately right now. But yeah, within a day or so I'll be back and I'll show you kind of what I'm doing. But here's the jig itself. Here's the spin it, and here's the set to put the hook in place. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna set this thing up because I have to put this thing on a board. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna set it up so I can start using it. There we go. So this is the parts section of my video here. I just wanted to show you the different parts that I use to make my spinners. Currently right now I'm using a 0.026 wire and a 0.035 wire. The 0.035 is a little bit heavier. It's more of a heavy duty wire. I can toss it up in the creek and hit a rock or hit a log, or even hit underneath a bridge even, you know, and it's not gonna bend my lure all to hell. So I like these ones here for during the summer when I'm chucking heavier lures into, you know, different spots. During the winter, and like, you know, I say winter, early spring, and late fall, I like to go with the 0.026 wire in a smaller presentation. These are number 4 spinner blades. I like to use the inline spinner blades. Myself personally, I'm not really good at doing it with Colorado blades. I've made a few with Colorado blades and they just spin so terrible and I'm not really happy with their performance. So I switched up to inline because it's mostly guaranteed that every time that you toss it out, it's gonna come back spinning fantastic. And basically that's what happens. I use a number 6 hook on my smaller ones. I think I'm starting to think that maybe I'll use a number 6 on my other ones for my 0.035s because my 0.035s I'm having a lot of issues with hangups. Last time I went out I lost, let me see, I think I lost like 2 of these and 1 of these last time I went out because of the these hooks here just going straight down to the bottom with the weights, with the 1/4 ounce weight or the 1/2 ounce weight, and just going right to the bottom. So yeah, it wasn't working out too well. This is a 3/8 ounce sinker, by the way. This is a 1/4 ounce sinker, and this is stinker, that's funny, and a 1/2 ounce sinker. Those are the ones I'm using for that. Usually what I do when I make these too is that I'll put like I'll put the spinner blade on first, then I put a bead underneath, you know, like a bearing bead, and the bearing beads I'm using are these metal beads. I used to use these glass beads, but I would have trouble with them breaking. I was using plastic for a little while too, but then the plastic ones would break, chip, different things would happen to them. And then the spinner blade would be coming back, just making some weird wobbling effect, and it wouldn't be doing exactly what I wanted to do. Also, I would use on my tails, I'd use these little hustlers. Use a little hustler, you know, different colors depending upon different creeks. The creek that I fish out a lot, they love this color here. I also use the mini tails. You can get these pretty cheap at Walmart for like $1. They don't cost very much. Also, by the way, these right here, I got from, let me see, Lure Parts online, and I think I paid, what did I pay for those? I think I paid like $5.50 for 10 of them. And then these ones here, they're a 6.5 blade, and I use these ones here. I figure if I can use them for like, you know, and possibly in the fall going for steelhead, salmon. I can use them on the river for muskies. I can use them actually on the trout streams for big trout too. So, but yeah, those are a 6.5. They're kind of heavy. They're nice and shiny. They come through the water. They glide through the water, fantastic, and they look beautiful. But yeah, and the way I would build this is that I would take this blade, we go on there first, and then I would use like a bigger one. This is kind of a small bead, metal bead here. I would use a bigger metal bead. I got some here in my tackle box, but for some reason or other, I'm just having an issue with getting them out. But I use a bigger bead. That would be like my my bearing bead. Then I would use a weight underneath that somewhere, and then underneath the weight, I'd put all any of these different beads here. You can use any color bead that you really want, depending upon the presentation you're trying to show and where you're fishing at, what you're trying to do. I find that pink and black works really good. Sometimes I use silver, but not very often. But yeah, pink, black usually seems to work great. It sits right up underneath the cup of this thing, and you know, it's just kind of, I don't know. You can just sample in anything that you want to do to try to make them the way you want to make them with the different beads that you get. But yeah, these are the parts. These ones here, I got like Lure Parts online. They're not too expensive. You know, you get a pack of 10. These ones here, like the beads, for instance, I got them at Joann Fabrics. Some of them I got them from the Hobby Lobby. Sinkers, I just go to Walmart and pick them up. You can get a little packs of them really cheap there at Walmart, the bullet sinkers. Hooks, I've been getting the hooks at Walmart too, you know, the different hooks that, you know, the number 4s or the number 6, but if I was to advise anybody else to go and do that wants to get into this, unless you're gonna go for like really big fish like salmon and steelhead and you know, maybe super jumbo trout, you're gonna want to use these number 4. I mean, to get it in their mouth nice and easy and stuff like that. But I was having a bad hook set and everything else with this, and it wasn't working out the way I really wanted it to. So I'm going to switch back to the 6, probably more likely on the heavier one. But the 6 seemed to be fantastic. Just worked a lot better all around. Number 4, it was just too much. That would probably work really good on the St. Croix River or something like that. But yeah, that's this is the parts I use here. In a minute here, I'm going to switch the camera around and I will show you the jig that I bought, and I will show you how I put them together. Stay tuned. So yeah, this is like the final part of what I do with each one of my spinners, is that I put a little tail on each one of the treble hooks. I use the mini tails, the little hustlers. You can get it for $1 at like you know, Walmart or Target or any sporting goods store will have them. But what I do is that I just simply take the little hustler, I take it out, I cut off the top of it, then I take the top of it. Once the top is off, there it is. That's just a little top cap. And then what I do is I just slide it down on top of treble hook. So that's what the end result will be. That's what it'll look like. But yeah, that's it right there. You just slide it down on top of the treble hook, and then you can just put it right on your spinners and use it. But yeah, that's the little final part. All right, when you first start off building these things here, you would take your wire and you would put the spinner blade on first. You want the curved part pointing towards the back of the spinner, towards the hook. Then you would put down the bead. The bead would go on next. I use, like I said, I use little metal beads. They work great. All right, you got that right there. Then you would take your weight. Here's your weight. You put your bullet weight on at whatever size that you're looking to use. I'm just gonna put this one on here temporarily until I figure out which one I want to do. But there's the weight. All right. Then you bring this around here like this. You'd want to line this up here. So you kind of got your weight working right at the back, kind of like the back of the jig here. All right, you want it between these two posts. There you want, okay, so that's kind of like your, Then you get it on here like this. I don't know if you can't see that there with my hand in the way. I move it out of the way. It's between these two little posts right here, and it's right off this little jig bar on the front. Then you would take this thing and you would spin it around like this, work it around. So you get to this point here, boom, you're in the front, you're good. Then you're left with this. You're left with the little bar part down and the whole 9 yards here. Then you take your hook, put your hook on here, bring it down around the top of that little bend that you had put in there, that little bend right there, and then you bring it over here to the jig. You want the hook on the back side over here. Wants to be a trouble for me right now. That's the way you know it works, because you're doing a video, so of course everything's not going to be easy. All right, and we got this on the back side here. And then what you do now is then you just twist it. Boom. Twist it around the base. Hopefully you don't get the hook jerked up like I did, or it's stuck in your finger. Twist it again. Get a nice little setup there. And as you can tell now, I don't know if you can see that there, but there's your twist, your final deal right there. And you can swing it around here like this. Take the little clipper off there, clip off the little tag end, bammo. Usually I would take better care of it so it doesn't go flying across the room. But there's your finished piece right here. Actually, it'd look better than that. But right now it's doing this for you. You're doing it for you guys. This is making it really hard for me for some reason or other. So, but yeah, that's what it would look like. That's the final piece right there, once you get it off the jig. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit that bell, and yeah, talk to you later.